We need to have a convenient time, cost, everything should be there with respect to that of a retail. Okay. In this we need to find the pattern where what is the need of the customer, then only the business can grow. And how to find out the pattern, the pattern can find out only by means of the data. Okay, that is what I need to tell here. We are more concentrating towards the retail, and we are less concentrating towards the data. But keep it in mind, when we are having a data, then only we can find the patterns. Okay. And okay, so fine. So I was discussing the same thing. Okay. So being a retail customer, I need to have a data that from that data I can develop the patterns, and from that patterns my business will grow. Okay, that is how we are going to meet the needs of the customer. Okay. uh, Obviously when retailers generates a lot of data, okay, a lot of logistic will be there. Nowadays you just go for Reliance, which is present in Tumkur. Okay, the Reliance Smart especially, we go and see they are going to take the mobile number every time. That is going to help them to keep track which customer buy. Okay, don't know what's the problem today. A lot of network drops. Kindly support me. Okay, so as I was telling, somebody has unmuted. Kindly mute. Okay, as I was telling, there's a retailer generates a lot of transaction and logistic data that can be used for diagnosis, and we can even solve the problems. Suddenly, people know now the effects of the corona, which created a boom in the market with respect to that of the what I can say sanitizers and even your masks. Okay, that is where we can overcome the problem if we are having a proper data, means how much number of sanitizers throughout the India is there, what are the brands, that is how we can keep track. Okay, that's how the data comes into picture. So when I come to the optimized inventory levels, there are different levels. Means optimized inventory levels deal with the different locations. Means if I am going to carry a large amount of data to a particular place, okay, for example, you need to transfer the data to Himalaya. Okay, because there the transaction the transportation is a very big issue. If you are going to carry the large amount of data to there, then you may be bearing the loss of lot of carrying cost. Okay, optimize inventory level, that is where the picture comes. Or if you are going to carry too little data, too little inventories, then there may be a stock outs. Okay, means there is no stock. For example, now people can see suddenly the raise in need of the sanitizers may the created the what I can say requirement more for the sanitizers. That is where out of stock. Okay, this is how we need to always keep the track of demand and supply. Okay, people should understand now summer started, there is no demand for jackets and sweaters. Okay, then I need to keep that inventory low. How I can predict all this? I can predict all this only based on the data. There is no other option. Means previous data, when I hold the previous data, I will get a picture. Okay, improve store layout and sales promotion, that is one more thing that you should keep in track. You should improve the store layout and sales promotions. What is the meaning of store layout and sale promotions? Means when, for example, again, if people are going to go for Reliance Smart, people can see if there is a goods of grocery item, beside the grocery item there will be vegetables, beside the vegetables there will be a fruits. Means I should, any company should have a proper layout. Means I cannot keep the grocery shop one place, the vegetables another far, some 100 200 meters, 300 meters, even many more. Okay, that's not a proper way. And even we should have a sale promotions. Means we should have a add-on products and even promotional discounts that every Reliance Smart or anything they are going to give, DMart, whatever it is. Okay, so these are the things goes. That is what we say, improve store layout and sales protections. Okay, then comes the optimized logistic for seasonal effects. That's a very, very important thing. Within a short term, you can have the lot of sales inventory to be sold. For example, in rainfall time, you will see that there is a lot of need for umbrellas. Now in summer time, there will be a lot of need of fans, ACs, coolers. Okay, that is what within a short time of the short time you can have a keep track about the logistics. Okay, and we should always minimize the losses. How we can minimize the losses? Means there will be some kind of goods that is nothing but perishable goods, we can say. What is the meaning of perishable goods? Now fruits is going to perish, vegetables is going to perish. You cannot keep them for more amount of a time. So this is how the things goes. We should also keep track about that. Okay. So coming back to telecom industry, again, business intelligence play a very important role in the telecom industry. Okay, it will help both the sides. It will help both the customer side and even network side. Okay, what is the main agenda behind BI in telecom industry is churn management. We can say churn management. What is the meaning of churn management? Churn management is nothing but finding out a validate customer, a customer who is, for example, now you people, many of you are using the cell phone from past 10 years. Okay, which network you are, that is a very important. If you are using the same idea network for 10 years, then you are a valid customer for that particular company, and you are going to come under the concept of churn management. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, and even people can see telecom customers should have a keep track about the customer. There will be, you should find the real risk customer. What is the meaning of real risk customer? Now you people send the port message to the company. Suddenly after a day or within, okay, as I was discussing, okay, suddenly you people, yeah, send a port message to a particular company. Then what happens? The company is going to call you back, and they are going to ask you the reason. What is the reason for the porting? That is how they are going to keep track about the customer. Then there will be a negotiation. Means the company will suggest you, if you are not going to get quoted, we are going to provide you so and so offer. That is how you are going to identify that kind of the risk customer, only through churn management. Means if your customer is sticking with you for past 10 years and suddenly he is trying to change toward the network, then really there is some problem, and you need to identify that problem and you are going to switch. And even if people can see the level of risk, what is the level of risk, because you people have millions of customer may send the port request every day, and you should keep track about that kind of the customers, and you should provide a negotiation, and that negotiation is going to help you to overcome the problem. Okay. And even if people have a decision neural network based system which is going to decide whether the customer is going to continue or not. Okay, these are all the things which is present. Okay, so then coming market and product creation. Basically the customer data will be there towards the telecom company, but they are maintaining CDR, I can say, sorry, CDR. What is the CDR called? Detailed records. That records is going to be recorded, and the recorded details is going to be used to train next recruitment who are coming for the recruitment, or even the same data can be used for the solving the problems. How they are solving the problems? If you take one of the American company called as MCI, the based on the requests, what they have created is they have created a program called Friends and Family. Means this much number of people can speak, okay, to one another freely. This is how the things goes. Okay, that arises from the customer itself. The need arises from the customer, and that is a solution to the problem. Means basically how all these things are going to be tracked. The one and only one reason to keep track about all these things is data. Okay, without data you cannot do anything. Then come network failure management. Any malicious attack or any problem with respect to that, that is also again people can find out the through data. Okay, and for fraud management, again you people can see some fraud, some subscription somebody has taken. Now you people only see Amazon Prime. One Amazon Prime your friend has taken, and many of you people are going to use. Okay, again 101% they are going to consider that as a fraud, but that is limited to only one users, and you people are using many, means that's a problem. Again they need to keep track about that. Okay. And then comes for CRM, you know very well, CRM, customer relationship management. Okay, how the business exists. The business exists when you serve to a customer. Okay, and keep it in your mind, one happy customer is a repeat customer. You people can see now, for example, if you buy any one product, okay, any one product of a particular company, and you people are liking that product, obviously any content of that company product comes, for example LG. Okay, many of them is going to have LG fridge, LG washing machine, LG TV. See, this is how one happy customer may repeat customer. And that is how business should understand the sentiments. And how you are going to understand the sentiments of the business? Again, the sentiments of the business is going to be, or a customer is going to be understand by means of, okay, it is going to be understand by means of a data. Okay, data plays a very, very important role. That is where the business intelligence comes. If you're having a good data, you can have a very good business intelligence options. Okay, so this is one more thing. And when I come for customer relationship management, okay, I can improve the customer relationship using churn analysis. What is the meaning of a churn analysis? Okay, you know what is the meaning of a churn? Churn is nothing but holding a valid customer. Okay, when I come to the business intelligence logic, it says difficult to make a new customer rather than to keep the old customer or existing customer. Okay, you should always try to improve customer retention. What is the meaning of customer retention? Now you people know I'm having a banking sector. One more example you people can say. First I'm going to go create an account in SBI. Then finally the people provide me a credit card. Then finally one day they are going to offer me a home loan. Then they are going to offer me a car loan. Then they are going to offer me a what I can say personal loan. And finally I'm going to be in an ocean full of loans. Right. These are the things works. Okay, these are the things works. I don't know what happened today, but it is irritating. Okay, fine. This is how the business goes. Improve customer retention. We should keep the customer because one happy customer is a repeat customer. Keep it in the mind. And maximize customer value. Okay, if the company is calling one valid customer, then that customer should not, that particular call should not go waste. Means the whoever the CRM manager or a sales service provider is there, he should catch the customer. That is how I can maximize the customer value. Okay, then comes the identify and delight highly valued customer. Yes, obviously every customer will doesn't get a promotions. Okay, everybody customer doesn't get a coupons. Every customer doesn't get a offers. Okay, only specific customers get, and they are the churn customers. And even we need to manage the brand, how the customer is going to manage the brand. You people know it well, but means of a social media. Okay, by means of a social media, you are going to manage the customer. This is about the CRM. Okay, then comes financial services. Obviously, you know what is the meaning of financial services. There comes the banking sector. Okay, always when I say banking sector, the major role played here is by means of a what I can say Sensex. Okay, or even stock transactions. How every successful become a stalker. Okay, how a person become a stalker when you are having a good knowledge about the environment. And how the environment knowledge comes, the environment knowledge comes from the data. Okay, people can see before buying any stock, any Sensex, you people will read that about the company. Okay, you people now okay, recently you will see the number of users has become more compared to that of TikTok in Zoom. Okay, now the stock price of the Zoom suddenly goes high, and you know what is the reason. Okay, and even you should have a access to the effect and events of the market movements. Okay, so for example, whatever the decision you are going to take means now you people, what is the meaning of effects? Now the effect of Corona is affecting even the banks. Why I am saying this is because SBI has suddenly cut off 0.25% out of 3%, which is they are going to give for savings account. Okay, that's a risk, and you should keep track about the risk and how the risk comes again by means of a data. If you are having a proper data, then you can predict yes, there is a risk in the upcoming days, and basically identify and prevent fraud for any fraud detections in the trading. Okay, this is about finance, and then I come for manufacturing. It's a complex system because in manufacturing operations, one system is related to another system, and every subsystem combined together, they are going to make one particular big system, especially in manufacturing sector. Okay, because manufacturing sector is a collection of such huge number of subsystems. Okay, in the manufacturing sector, everything should work correctly. What is the meaning of everything? Means from machine working right to workers having the right skill to the right component arriving with the right quality at the right time to the money to source the component, and this all the things should work correctly, then only you can have in manufacturing unit. Means you cannot say, for example, if you are a Toyota and a car manufacturing company, okay, you cannot say that engine is ready, but there is no body of the car. Then it's a hectic process. Okay, everything should be there at the right moment. So only we say manufacturing is a complex system. Now you tell me again why it is related to BI. You can tell very easily. You should keep track about the stock. Okay, if you doesn't keep track about the stock through business intelligence, then again manufacturing becomes a more complex process rather than complex. Okay, so what you can say, you should discover some knower pattern. Okay, so I was telling the same thing. Now you should keep track about what I can say. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay. What I was saying, pattern. Now you people believe Tata has started a center in Gujarat for nano car production. Then what they are having? They are having some particular pattern to improve the product quality. Okay, and they are going to keep track about such a product quality, and they are going to make some predictive models. Building a nano car is a very big program of the Tata, which cannot be done anybody in the world. Why I'm saying is because in a country like India, producing a cheapmost car which can provide all the comfort was the biggest task. And don't you think that such a big task has been developed simply? No. They are provided a predictive model of product quality and many other things. Okay. Then they started to do a research, and finally they have developed the product which is running in the world. Okay. So you should provide a novel pattern. That is nothing going to become a predictive model. And then we should always keep track about predict or prevent machine failures. How you are going to predict or prevent machine failures means you people know some of the machines is going to break down after some period of a time. For example, if you take a car, every car should be get service for 10,000 kilometers. That is a big breakdown time of the car. It is not that if you doesn't do it is not going to work, but it's a predictive, based on the predictive model. It has been decided that yes, every car should be done service for every 10,000 kilometers. This is how the prevention machine failures is going to happen. Okay, and when I come for healthcare and wellness, nowadays BI is used mostly more everywhere they are using, but they are using more in healthcare, which is going to become a biggest sector in advanced economy. Right now, you people can see if your father or grandfather, some old parents are there in the home, suddenly message starts to come. There is a health checkup cab. Okay, everything in a one package. This is how the business intelligence works. Okay, even the medicines, new trends, everything will be keep on updating. That is why they are telling it's the biggest sector. Healthcare is the biggest sector in BI. Okay, and it will help to even diagnose. Now you people can see for every diagnosing, there is some kits which was not there in the old days, and even you can do the diagnosis at the home. Okay, that is where the business intelligence comes. Okay. Yeah, diagnosis in the disease in the patients. Okay, for example, in olden days there was no diagnosis centers, but today you are having a diagnosis centers where you can do the diagnosis of the patients and come to a conclusion that yes, this patient is having some part of a disease. But the people say that diagnosing is an art rather than that of a science. That's a nice quote, I can say. Okay, diagnosis is a art rather than that of a science. Okay, you people remember about one of the diagnosis research which is done based on BI by IBM Watson. It observes all the medical research data. It will take all the data from the particular client, and it is going to do a probabilistic diagnosis. Now you people can also see in Arogya Setu app, they will do your diagnosis with respect to that of a corona. Means they will ask you what's your gender, what's your age, are you suffering from cough, are you suffering from cold, are you suffering from fever, how many days had you visited somewhere else. This all the data will feed it to that particular app. It is going to give you a probabilistic diagnosis, not the exact diagnosis. This is where the business intelligence comes. Now this app become very famous, and it is reached already lakhs together of customer within a short period of time. Okay, and it should even come for treatment effectiveness. Okay, the prescription is not going to work for everyone. For example, if you are having taking a tablet for hypertension, that is nothing but high blood pressures, you people can see different kinds of the medicines, right? Some are very effective, some are least effective, and some are more effective. That's how the things goes. Again, that is going to come through data. Okay, and now come for wellness management, which keep track about patient's health record. Wellness management. Again, they are all part of BI. You people know the remainder will come to you automatically if you are a regular customer to a particular hospital that you have not visited the hospital for many days. Again, the BI comes there. Okay, we need to start with education. We will do this in the upcoming classes, but now I'm going to welcome Srijit for this particular session. He wants to discuss about MapReduce with you. It's a part of the program. Why we are doing this is nothing but because every time I am going to speak, you are sitting somewhere and listening is a boring process. So yesterday we have arranged for the guest lecture, and today we are having Srijit here. Srijit, are you there? Srijit?
Hello, sir.
Okay, Srijit. Srijit is here. I welcome you, Srijit. Now we can continue up to 3 o'clock. Okay. Uh, Continue, Srijit.
Sir, I want to share my screen.
Sure, I have exit from my screen. You can share.
Hello, everyone. So today I'll just tell you about the very simple topic, MapReduce. Am I audible?
You're audible, Srijit. Continue.
Okay. So first, we'll see what is MapReduce. Before that, agenda for today's session says we'll see what is Hadoop MapReduce, MapReduce in a nutshell, then two advantages of MapReduce, and finally, with a small example, we'll try to execute a program regarding a MapReduce. Okay. So first, we'll see what are Hadoop components. There are mainly two components in Hadoop. One is storage part and the processing part. Storage part is always about the HDFS, that is Hadoop distributed file system. So I'm not going to talk much on that. I'll be talking much on the processing part. So processing, that is Hadoop MapReduce. So here is MapReduce. So what is MapReduce? Or what is Hadoop MapReduce all about? Can anybody tell me if you are comfortable? Okay. So here is a simple analogy. So in the big data, the whole data will not be stored in a single system. It will be partitioned in many chunks and it will be stored in many different systems, which will not be possible by programs like Java or Python to execute. For example, if I have my data on 10 different systems, my Java program doesn't have any possibility of getting the data from 10 different systems and doing the analysis or the programming part. So for these things, we have a special platform called Hadoop MapReduce, wherein this Hadoop MapReduce is having a possibility of doing all such things. So Hadoop MapReduce is a processing component of Apache Hadoop. It processes data parallelly in a distributed environment. So here is a MapReduce in a nutshell. So first we'll try to see what is the application of a MapReduce. So application of MapReduce is nothing but indexing and searching. So one of the biggest user of Hadoop is Google. So they use this for indexing and searching and even for classification. And it is also used for recommendation. So if you take online platforms like Amazon, Flipkart, they recommend you so many products like here are the goods bought together with something like that. So all these are done using Hadoop framework, especially MapReduce. So this is one of this, and even analytics. So analysis of the business and things like that. This is the uses. And if we come for features, we have programming models so that we can write a program for that. So we'll be discussing about that later. And we have a large scale distributed model. So this works even for big data. So it is very useful. And parallel programming, even this we'll be talking about this later. And here we have design patterns. So index and search related design pattern is summarization. Classification is same based on a number of records. And recommendation, it's mostly on sorting things. And analysis, it's about selecting and joining two or more things like that. Okay. And the main part is we have two different parts, map and reduce. So mapping is all about taking the input and splitting things. Reducing is about getting the final outcome, whatever is needed. This we'll study in detail in upcoming slides. So implementation, as I told already, like Google is using it, Apache Hadoop is using it. Apache Hadoop in particular, it's using for HDFS management, that is Hadoop distributed file system processing. So if you want to process anything in the on the storage, that is HDFS, we use MapReduce, and even in Pig, Hive, and even in HBase. HBase is an example for NoSQL. So we'll see about the biggest advantages of MapReduce. So first one is parallel processing. As we all know, parallel processing, like it's something which occurs together. So first we'll see what are these. So let us assume this boxes as a pieces of data. So we have 5 slave computers here, slave A, B, C, D, E, and we have a master. So all these have different data sets. Now we want to process a data which must be done all together. So what we do is we do it particularly from A, B, C, D, E, so that everything occurs together and there will be no much stress on the master, and parallelly the output will be sent to the master. So to give an analogy for this, you can just imagine work problem from aptitude, like if a job is done by one person in 3 days, what if 10 Next one is data locality, that is processing to storage. So what about this data locality? For example, imagine, take the same example of 5 slave nodes, and imagine there is 10 TB of data on A, 10 TB on E, 10 TB on D, C, B, the same way. Every slave has 10 TBs of data, and we need some process to be done on those 10 TBs of data. What happens is, if we share the whole of 10 TB data to the master, first thing what happens is we lose the bandwidth, and it's again a waste of time sending the data, getting the back results and things like that. So what happens is the data locality tells that the master will send the logic to the slaves so that the slave itself will calculate or run the process or perform the algorithm or logic, whatever, and only send the results back to the master. So master will not be stressed much. Only the slave will do the thing, and even bandwidth will be saved. As the moving time is saved, only logic is moved. Even the transport time is reduced. So data travel bandwidth is also reduced, and the process becomes faster. So that is what it tells. Moving data to process is very costly. So that is avoided. What happens in a traditional way? Every booth will send its data, which was previously there in the booth, to the central result center, and there the result center will calculate each data. Votes are moved to the result center for counting, and moving all the votes to the center is again costly because again much bandwidth is required, and result center is always overstressed because of this, and again counting takes more time. So now let's see how MapReduce will work. This is not the way MapReduce works. MapReduce works in such a way that each booth will calculate its own result, so that no data is sent and bandwidth is stored, because sending the data has its own cost, which is not a better way. And once every booth calculates its own result, only the results will be sent to the result center, where the addition of all the results will be done, and finally the output will be given for the clients or whichever the program needed. Both are counted at individual booths. Booth-wise results are sent back to result center, not the data or the raw data or the vote itself will not be sent. Only the result, only the finally calculated result of each booth will be sent, or the output from each booth will be sent. And final result is declared easily by quickly manipulating a small required manipulations by the result center. Now we'll see MapReduce in detail. So this is a MapReduce way. Mainly, as I told, we have map tasks and reduce tasks. In map task, what happens is initially we take the input and we map them. So map is nothing but counting. Maybe this slide will not give you complete clarity, but when we take further examples, it will be more clear for you people. So just remember, map task does only the counting part, and reduce part will only does the aggregation part. For example, if you take an election part, map task here, each node will be calculating their own result of that particular booth and sending to the result center. This reduce task is a result center where it adds the result of all the booths, and output will be delivered for the client. So this is how normally it is done. We have a key value pair which is normally used in MapReduce. A key is generated. In the next slide, I'll explain in depth about what is this key and value with an example, so that it will be very much clear. So initially what happens is a key and a value will be taken. It will be sent to the next part of a program where lists of keys and values will be generated. Then it will be sent to the shuffler, where shuffler will be giving its output to the reduce, where keys and list of the values will be reduced. And using this keys and list of values, finally the list of keys and values, final output will be deduced. So this is how we get list of keys and values using map part and reduce part. So here is an example so that it will be very clear for you. So I'm taking an example of word count process. Word count process is simple, just counting the words present in a given text. Okay, let the input be deer, bear, river, car, river, deer, car, bear. We have a okay. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Srijit. Continue. You're having I think 15 minutes of time.
Okay. So we have this input as this is an input file. We have 3 sentences. So first what we do is we take these 3 sentences separately, and we have 3 different things here. Key is just a sentence number, and value is deer, bear, river. Here the value is car, river, and deer, car, bear. So next we have something called mapping. So what happens in a list is first we take the key and the values. For example, key deer, value 1, bear, key value 1, key river, value is 1. So the same thing is done for all the 3 split sentences. And you can just see that here we have car twice. We would have written like car 2, but that is a different algorithm, like that comes under combining part. So if combining algorithms are used, it will be done here. If not, it will be as it is. It will be taken into next level. So once the mapping is done, we'll go for shuffling. So shuffling happens like this. For example, all the bear comes here. Like bear, we have one from the first line and one from the last line. So bear from here comes one, bear one, and here bear one comes here. So same way car we have three, car one, car two, and car three, and it comes up to deer and so on. So next we have reducing. So in the reducing part, as I told, the totaling will be done. So bear we have two, car three, deer two, river two. Finally, we have a list of keys and values. That is, uh, all these reduced part will be brought together. So this is how word count process works using map reduction way. So now we'll try to execute a map reduce program. So hope you are seeing the input file. Is it visible for you people? Deer, bear, river, car, river, deer, car, bear. The same example I've taken. Okay. Now what we do is, I'll just give me a minute. Okay. Here I have Hadoop installed, and Hadoop already has so many default examples which comes with the package. So I'll show you that. Okay, here is a MapReduce example.jar. So this is the zip file. So in this we have so many examples. I'll try to open that. First, we need to send this input file into HDFS, that is Hadoop distributed file system, because MapReduce works only if it is in the form of HDFS, and input will be taken from HDFS, and again output will also be given for HDFS, that is FDS, that is file distributed system, which is present in Hadoop. I'll try to do that. Okay, now I'll try to display that input file in the console. Okay, here we have deer, bear, river, car, river. We have this here. Now we'll move that and then try to reduce it. So word count, I'm executing that script, which is already has come with the Hadoop default package example. So I put it in first example out. So I'm executing that. So it started. So resource manager is being connected. So this take care of all things. So map percent is 0 and reduce percent is 0. It's processing. And there is a URL with the application ID so that you can track the application. Even you can see the status of that process running in a browser if you need. So now mapping is done 100%. Still reducing part is not done. Now reducing is also done. It's successful. So we'll try to print the output. So oh, sorry, it was muted. Yeah. Hope it was clear for you, the execution of the map reduce. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll try to answer if I know the answer.
Okay, Srijit. Thank you for the session. Hello, Srijit.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, thank you for the session. It was quite wonderful. Okay, so you have executed a good program to make them to understand what is map and what is reduce. It was a good session. Okay, Srijit. Hello, can you hear me, Srijit? Okay, I would like to wind up the session now. Thank you all for attending the session. Okay, thank you.